Well, let's dig into some of this with Tamer Qarmout. He's an assistant professor of public policy at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. Tamer, Iran's attack on Israeli soil, we've been calling it unprecedented, but Tehran would also say that Israel's choice to attack its embassy in Damascus, that was also meant to be off limits. So now it feels like we're in uncharted territory, and I'm trying to get my head around what the options are here. In terms of Israel's response now, they obviously want to avoid major escalation, but they also want it to be symmetrical, right? They need to respond almost in kind in order for them not to look weak. So what are exactly their options?
Nastasia, exactly. It's clear, from the messages we're hearing coming from Israel and its own allies like United States, that there will be a response, a retaliation. But everyone is talking about a measured, calculated one. But again, anytime things can get out of control. If something goes wrong with such military response, and then we'll have another escalation again. So we are not out of the woods yet. We are in uncharted territory, and it all depends on how Israel will go ahead with its response, the scale of it, whether it's measured or not, and this is all yet to be seen.
Well, we're now heading into what seems to be day 4 of meetings with the Israeli War Cabinet. We know, reportedly, that there is plenty of division within the War Cabinet as well. How far do you think we are away from any kind of a decision here?
I'm not sure, but again, yes, the divisions are there because, yes, the cabinet is divided because there's some members of the cabinet who say enough with what we have achieved so far. The idea that for the first time in this region's history, there's a coalition of countries that works together to protect Israel, including Arab countries. This is a great achievement. So we should stop here and more or less invest more in this gain, while the other members of the coalition are warmongers, and they want to hit back to protect Israel's pride, because Israel has been attacked, and it's an Israeli soil, and it's the first time Iran hits directly. But again, the trigger was Israel again, because the Israelis are the one who started all this saga by hitting the Iranian embassy in Tehran. So let's wait and see.
Well, as they're trying to make that decision, I've been wondering how much influence Western leaders are having in how this decision is made. I see the British Foreign Secretary David Cameron is on his way into town for talks, and obviously Washington's been very vocal about what they do and do not want to see.
I think Western countries or Western leaders have the upper hand in this. They have the full leverage. If they're keen about stopping Israel, they can prevent it. If it was not for them, there would have been even more damage as a result of Iran's attacks on Israel. Because if it was not for this coalition, then things would have been totally different. So they have the leverage, and they can stop the Israelis if they want. But I think they're okaying or agreeing a very limited response to save face Israel's position, more or less.
And reportedly, speculatively, for now, not directly on Iranian soil, it seems. I'm wondering, though, these US sanctions, these new ones that we're hearing about, do you think they'll have any impact at all?
Probably, but very limited, Anastasia, because Iran has did great by bypassing these sanctions and diffusing them, more or less. Iran is a member of the BRICS. It has excellent relations with Russia and China, trade relations. None of these countries have stopped trading with Iran, plus any other countries. I think the era of sanctions is over. You see the Russian-Ukraine war. The Western countries were betting that Russia's economy will collapse in 3 or 4 months, but it didn't happen. It's the opposite. All reports coming from Russia with the growth rates, a Russia war machine is still going on. So Iran is more or less in a similar position, and it has a new strategic partners, including Russia and China. I'm really not sure how would this go. This is more symbolic, but I don't think they will really pose any threat to Iran.
Tamer Qarmout, always great to speak to you. Thank you for joining me again on the NewsHour.
My pleasure.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.